All right, everybody, welcome in. First tournament of the season, first tournament repping Russell Disc Golf on their team, and it's going to be my first tournament playing MA1. I'm playing blind out here at Camp Jordan, and yeah, it's just going to be a good time. It is a charity tournament that's benefiting a local youth group to help them go on mission trips, and the kids that can't afford it can go on it. So it's for a good cause. The weather is beautiful. It is 70 degrees. There's low winds. It's going to be a beautiful day at Camp Jordan. Let's get it. This guy right here, he's an optimist, and I'm all for it in this season. So just a quick overview of what we're going into here in this tournament. This is a trial run for me because I am working night shift, and part of my schedule is Friday and Saturday, which means that if I want to play a tournament, I have to either take off work, flip my schedule, just do something weird. So I know that physically and mentally, I'm just not at my peak, and I need to give myself grace and see how it goes. But this is the trial run of that. It's my first tournament representing Russell Disc Golf, so go check them out if you haven't. But I'm really excited to be on their team this season. First time playing MA1, and this layout at Camp Jordan is really cool. It's like a pitch and putt style. They broke down the par fours. Most of the holes are going to be like 300 feet or less, right around that. So it's a birdie or die layout, which is good because we need to play aggressive. So that's kind of what I'm going into in this season. Let's see how this tournament shakes out. Yeah, expectations for the day. I'd like to have fun. My motto for this season is going to be confident and play your own game, but also to have fun and fight. I need to fight, learn to play some aggressive golf. So it'll be a good day for it, I think. Okay, hole one, pretty short-ish starting hole, but you do have a mando tree on the right and an out-of-bounds river on the left. It's kind of a flex shot, really kind of an intimidating starting hole. I'm trying to flex over my Toro here, just didn't get it high enough, but a safe play. I wanted to make sure that I got left of that mando, but had a disc that would fight back away from the OB river, maybe give me a chance for birdie. Didn't, I just shanked it into the ground. So here I am tossing up, tap in a par. Here's my boy Lex. Shout out Lex with that all too scary like 18-foot starting putt, but he drills it, moves on, and I'm here tapping in my par. Now this is a little weird because you're going to see on the screen here that it says hole 2, and I am tapping out at the basket. It's because I made that typical recording mistake where I forgot to record. But we're going to talk about this hole for just a second anyways. So, hole 2 has OB on the left side following that river. I just didn't see the stakes and I didn't really check. I am playing this tournament blind, so historically I don't play blind very well. I made a bad disc choice on this hole, had my Toro in my hand, switched to the tempo because I wanted it to be a little straighter. After walking the hole and seeing what the shot actually was, I would have been perfectly fine with the Toro. But I shanked my tempo. It kicks OB into the creek. I can see it. I go to get it. I'm not filming any of this because my brain, you know, just scrambled. And the branch that I was holding on to, or rather the root system in the bank that I was holding on to reach down for my tempo, snapped as I was reaching for it. So I fell in the water up to about like calf deep with both of my feet. At this point, I'm just like, whatever, reach down and grab my tempo. But I'm wearing my Vessies, y'all, which shout out Vessies. They keep the water out. They also keep the water in. Um, this is a 23 hole tournament, if I didn't mention that earlier. So now I have very, very wet feet. And I have to play 21 more holes. That's all hole 2 goes. I just pitch up and take my first OB stroke. We're going to have our first bogey of the day. We'll move on, see how things go with the wet feet. Hole 3 is a tunnel shot. We still have that OB Creek left side, but it's pretty far away, so I'm not too worried about it. I've got my uplink. I'm trying to just kind of baby this right at the gap because I know the uplink's going to flip up and early release, like a very egregious early release. I'm kind of upset with it. Looking at my hips, they were pretty out of line, but now I get to throw what's essentially my favorite shot I'm really good at. Showcase the A5 a little bit. So just going to straddle out, throw a nice little touch, flexi boy up to the basket, and we're pretty much tapping in for par here. So sitting at +1 through 3 holes, not great, feet are wet, whatever. Hole 4, eagleable par 4. Mando is left of that tree that looks like it should have a Mando on it, just kind of above my right shoulder there. I'm not going for this. I've got my flippy wraith. I'm throwing it on a backhand, hoping to just maybe get some turn out of it. Just didn't give it the height, but I did get it out into the field. That's what you're looking to do. Is it
This
eagleable
one.
with my power? Sure. I've got a little forehand approach shot, and this is something that I probably should have used the
Did that beat?
rangefinder on. It looked like the basket was like 40, 50
Yeah,
long of that
that's
tree.
crushed.
Turns out it wasn't. I
Wow.
throw it super deep.
All right, Pierce.
I forget to hit record again. Drained a big C2 putt, and now we're sitting at even, which is nice. So we fought our way back to even after hole 4. That's fine. Hole 5 should be my stock forehand. It really should be. So I've got my Wraith. I'm trying to just throw this on not a spike hyzer, but a pretty steep hyzer, and just let it drift in, and it'll land right at that 260 mark. OB is the sidewalk right, so that's why I'm electing for the forehand because I can play it
Nah,
wide.
it's stable, but it's not that
Y'all, I just
stable.
threw it flat. I even got some flex
And
out
it's
of it,
also
rolled
super
my wrist a
juiced.
little bit, and 259-foot par 3, and I'm super deep and kind of far away, like far enough that I have to throw an upshot, which is frustrating, just frustrating. And here you're gonna see I'm talking about that a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm struggling. I fell in the river on hole 2, just trying to get my disc back. Got like 3 hours of sleep. I just don't know if playing blind is my thing. We'll see. Try to be a goldfish and forget. Just have fun.
So I'm expressing some frustrations, and I think that's merited at this point. I didn't expect to do super, super well, but I certainly thought that I would not be sitting even after 5 holes that are very, very gettable. I'm going to attest this to bad disc selection, also just not getting enough sleep. I could have a list of things that went wrong, but ultimately, I'm just not playing well, and I know what I'm capable of, especially at upshot courses. Upshots are my strength, I would say. And anyone that's played with me would probably say the same. When I'm locked in with my upshots, it's just locked in. It feels good. It almost feels easy. So I'm frustrated to say the least at this point, and almost regretting coming out to the tournament, thinking maybe I'm not going to have another good tournament season this year. Like maybe things aren't going to be good. But we're gonna fight. We're gonna dig deep. We're gonna see how the rest of this goes. So we're going to pick up. Upshot was good. And then we'll just go ahead and tap in. Staying even, we're okay. Next hole is really, really cool. This is the only one I did get to practice because it's next to the parking lot. It's an island hole. So the circle itself is an island. If you land outside of that, it plays as hazard. So play it where it lies. I'm aiming at the left side of the orange fence you can see. And I'm just wanting to throw this on a pretty steep hyzer. I definitely cut it inside, as you can see by that line, but
Short.
not terrible. We land inside the circle, and hey,
We're in it.
we have a look for birdie. It is an elevated basket, and again, my motto for this season is to be a little bit more aggressive. I'm going to be playing an MA1, potentially MPO in the next year, so uh, birdie or die layout. We need to be trying to birdie. Just comes out a little bit low. Not a bad result on a raised basket. So we're going to walk up there, tap in for our par. Hole 7 is a pretty good hole. I think it was further than 320. We've got a strong right to left, so I've got my destroyer in my hand. I know that if I throw it flat, it should crack over a little bit and then come back towards the basket. I released this maybe a little more nose up than I would have liked, but it is out there at about circle's edge, so can't be too mad about that. First, pretty big forehand. I now have a headwind, and I'm definitely in C2 for this putt. A little nervy because anything could happen. This could raise. I don't want to go past the basket, but we sneak it in and we've locked it in. So C2 putting on the day so far, great. Can't make him in the circle, but outside of the circle, we're good for him. Hole 8's a pretty cool par 4. Probably not eagleable with my arm strength, but we're trying to rip this. I've got my wild honey. We had a pretty good tailwind, if I remember correctly, and so I'm just trying to throw this flat and trust it, and I didn't. I threw it on a little bit of hyzer. It did turn a bit. It was nose up. We probably ended up just shy of 400 feet with this because we've got maybe 100 feet left to the basket. So again, taking the A5 forehand approach, and we're going to put it right up there next to the bucket. So starting to dial it in with that A5. Feeling good about that. Got ourselves about a 10-footer left to tap in for, yeah, that's going to be birdie, which is nice. So pretty soft par 4, definitely gettable. All right, so hole 9, I just made a bad disc choice here. Didn't get to practice it, but you have a Mando. Those two trees that look like a Mando, there's a Mando left, Mando right. I've got a destroyer in my hand, which seems like too short of a distance, but I just wanted to throw something stable on a bit of hyzer at the left tree, knowing that it would fade in, maybe skip
That's
up to the
not it,
basket. I could
Pierce.
tone it down a bit. That doesn't happen. I crack it too hard. roll that wrist again, which has kind of been a bugaboo today. Weird. But I missed the Mando, so now I've got a drop zone putt. But I've been pretty good at this distance so far today. We've gone like 2 for 2 with them, so we'll see how this goes. I'm feeling pretty confident about the drop zone putt, and out of my hand, I really liked it. It was on line, it was good, just like an inch too low, so can't be too mad. Brings us to down one. Hole 10 is a pretty nervy tunnel shot. There is a big, big creek. It's like one of those creeks that's more like a river on the left side. And then you have to hit this gap, and it's jail left and right. I've got a hex, and I'm just trying to commit to the line. Backhand, I would almost never throw this hole, but because of the
It
shape,
won't a bunch.
it's
It's
definitely a
gonna that's the
backhand hole
flippy
because of the
hex.
slope that the
But
basket's
we hit
on.
the gap.
And we hit the gap, put ourselves edge of circle-ish, and we sneak this one in. So feeling good about
Yeah,
that. Brings us
they're
to
low
down
today,
two.
but they're going in. So
Right here is like a fun little interaction where Lex is telling me that
I already
this is
picked
the
up.
CTP for MA1, and looking at where the flag is currently at,
Oh well,
I think I probably
it
had
was
it by like
probably
a
pretty
couple
close,
inches. It was one
honestly.
of those close ones, but whatever. Hole 11, fun shot, 225. We're just throwing into that gap. I've got my proxy in my hand, trying to trust it on a backhand, early release. Again, looking at my hips, I think that I just wasn't lined up properly. Feels good in the moment. Looking at footage, you can tell that my hips weren't lined up. Got another little crack out flex shot here. So just stepping out, tap with the A5. Goes a little deeper than I would like for it to, but hey, it's okay. Very makeable putt. There goes the cute little cart boys walking up the path. Now I've got a straddle. Boop, hit the straddle. Feel good about that because I hate straddle putts. So hole 11, we're still sitting down two after 11 holes. Hole 12 is a pretty sharp turn to the right, not too far, but there's OB water to the right, which makes it one of those holes that looks like a forehand, but it's kind of not a forehand. Probably should have gone Toro here, but I went A5, flipped it up, pushed it a little too straight.
No, it's
Angle
not.
was bad out of my hand.
Maybe just give me
Honestly,
a
not
back
a
door
bad
down there.
result. I think if I'd gone Toro or something else, if I'd cut it inside, it would
Yeah,
have skipped into the
unfortunately.
water. We've got a weird putt here. I can see that I've got a gap between the trees. I don't know about y'all, but when I have a gap between the trees, it usually helps me make putts because I know that I just have to hit that gap. Came in chain high. Somehow got it right of the chains. Didn't expect that. So we're good there. Still at down two. This is just a bad tee shot. I'm good at this tee shot all day. Sharp dog leg right, par three, OB deep. I've got a Firebird. I'm trying to hit it flat, right at the gap. It comes out super early.
Yep.
Like,
I
I don't know
really
why it
like
came
that
out
if it was
early.
10 feet left.
Just comes out super early. I usually have that shot dialed in, but frustrating. Frustrating result for this hole. Thought I'd get it. Now I've got a pretty weird scramble. See, I'm really in the thick of it here. Had to go on a little adventure. And I can see this big pile of leaves right before the green. And I know that if I make it to the green, I will skip up to the basket and can save par. I don't do that. I hit this pile of leaves. You can kind of see. I'm running up to see how close the OB is behind the basket. And yeah, this is not runnable. Just not. So here I'm going to take my medicine. Toss it up there. Good result. This is kind of a sketchy green. And we're going to tap in for that bogey, sitting it down one. I know at this point I have 10 holes left to play. I know that the line to beat was down 12 for first place. So I'm essentially out of it without an eagle. But I need to make some moves if I want a good position in this tournament. Here, Lex is throwing down this tunnel. Fun little tunnel. It's like a 200-foot little thing. A lot of rough, though, on the sides. You really, really got to get down there. Here, Dylan throws a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
On paper, looks like a backhand. This is one that I know I just need to hit my lines. So I'm going to take that A5, little bit of anhyzer to let it drift. Try to make this tunnel as big as possible. Barely hit the top of that bank. And we're going to skip over there for probably like a 22, 23 footer. Something that I'll miss a whole bunch of. But if I can
You're
knock
fine,
this
buddy.
in, I can start getting some momentum. And we drill it. Pretty much on the stripe. Feels good. And that's going to put us back to down two. My feet are starting to dry out a little bit here too, which is nice. This next hole was kind of a game changer for me too. This is my stock upshot. 217, 220 feet. I've got that A5. Throw it on a little bit of hyzer. Out left, just pick an aim point, and we base it. Perfect. That feels good. I know out of my hand that that's a tap in, walk up, drop it into the bucket, and we're going to be sitting it down 3. This is how I normally feel with my upshot game. So I'm starting to lock in a bit. Again, the feet are drying out.
298 plays
Just starting to feel
uphill.
good. Vibes are feeling pretty good too. So
Feels a little
this
windy.
hole is definitely uphill. So 298 plays uphill. I've got a hex in my hand. Rip on it on hyzer because there's a bit of a left to right wind out there. Flips up really nicely and actually pushes straighter than I wanted to.
It'll be a
Probably could have
putt, I
put it on
think.
more hyzer. Circles edge again. This is a big putt, y'all. I know in my head that if I can go 3 for 3 right here, that I'm going to ride that momentum. I'm one of those players that if I start to get momentum, I can really ride it, and it actually helps me relax and lock in. And the putt felt good out of the hand. Had a little bit of
Thank you.
headwind, kept it up, which could have been
Thank you,
part of that
sir.
day. My putts were coming out kind of low, but the headwind putts were feeling really good. So that puts us to down 4, and now I'm moving and grooving. 17 is a par 4. You could say it's pretty soft at 575. It felt like it played longer. I've got my Emperor, and I'm just trying to throw it flat, maybe a touch of hyzer because I don't really know what the wind is doing at the brush on the right side. Just want to put it out there in the field. I'm pretty sure the sidewalk plays as OB, but the caddy book did not say that. Or
Safe.
rather, live
Safe all
scoring
day.
did not say that, but the caddy book did. But not an issue here. I'm really proud of this decision that I made. I had my A5,
No, Pierce, don't
and
make
I
that
knew that it
mistake.
would come up too short. I'd have to
It's
hit it too
definitely
hard to be
longer.
reliable. Disked up to the tempo, which is why I keep the tempo in the bag. I know that it's going to push straighter than my A5 and still have like a pretty
I
decent
love it.
finish. And I'm super happy with that result. Like
Yup.
good disc
I'm glad.
selection.
Good decision
Everything
making.
about that was
Disc
a
up
good
just a
choice
little.
in the moment. Puts me to about 15 feet, and we get another bird. Now we're down 5,
Thanks, sir.
and we're just
We're getting
moving
some
and
momentum
grooving,
now.
y'all.
The feet are
Starting
drying
to
out.
feel that part of my game that I love so much. This hole is interesting. So there is OB behind the mound. The basket is up on the mound by that telephone pole, and there is OB beyond it. This is one you want to put it close because if you're not close, the putt is going to be terrifying. I'm aiming at the corner of that orange fence right there. Going to throw my Wraith on hyzer, just like that previous hole I talked about that I messed up. But
I
I know
like the
what my
width a
disc is going
lot.
to do.
Nice and short, I
And
think. Oh boy. That's
it
not where I
didn't
want to
push
be,
as far
Pierce.
right as I wanted to. So you can hear me saying there that that's not really where I want to be. Now I've got a 20 something footer uphill at OB, and it drops off right behind the basket. So essentially, if I don't catch metal, it's going OB. We drilled it, and
Let's go.
man, did that feel good. So many things could go wrong on the screen. Felt really good to be aggressive, attack that putt. It's not a putt I would probably normally run, um, but felt good. And I need to start doing that. This hole could be a nightmare. It's like a swamp right now. It's only 180 feet. I'm going for that same tactic. We're going to hit the A5 on a little bit of ante, try to make the tunnel as big as possible. So that way, if we miss it all, we're still pushing pretty far down there and hit the line almost perfectly. Drifts a little far to that left side, but we're out there at like 10, 11 feet. So not a bad result on this hole. I know this hole could give some big numbers. There's my A5 trying to spit out the back of that black hole
Whoa.
light as best as
MVP
possible,
black
but it
hole
stayed
lights,
in.
baby.
So
That
we're
would have been
fine. Now we're down 7.
tragic.
Hole 20,
77 yards. Thanks,
right at
Pierce.
my distance. I've got the A5. Plan is to pick a point on the horizon, throw it on a little bit of hyzer out left, and let the A5 do what the A5 does. So this disc is newish to my bag, but I know how it flies because it flies similarly to my old upshot disc that I lost, and I'm just been in love with it. It is that color glow, and we based this one, y'all. So again, I when I'm feeling good with that disc, I just know what it's gonna do. It's almost boring. It's almost predictable, but when you find a
No, no,
disc like
no. I
that, it's
need it.
great. Now we're sitting it down 8. I'm feeling real good, y'all. 21. We got 3 holes left to play. I've got my feedback in my hand because the distance is a little bit more. The wind was weird on this hole. It felt like it was moving right to left and then left to right, just kind of swirly. So I'm trying to put this a little bit left of the basket, flat, and just kind of let it come up. And if I come up a bit long, it's fine. I go a little
It'll come
too
back. It's going to be
far
a putt
left than
unless
I
I
would
get some
like.
good ground
I
play.
also kind of thought
Yeah.
that the left to
I'll have to
right,
earn
if
it.
it was a left to right, was going to push that over, and it just didn't. I think I rolled my wrist a little bit. So now I'm checking the wind. and I know I have a consistent tailwind. I can feel it. So I'm aiming high on this basket. We've got like a 21, 22-foot putt here. Nothing too crazy.
Drop. Ah,
I aimed high.
right on
It was
line.
on the stripe, and I had a tailwind.
Thought
What
the
can I say?
tailwind would
You can't be
push
mad
that
about
down.
that. Like
Didn't.
in the moment, I'm frustrated, but my
Come on,
disc just didn't
tailwind. What are you
drop, and
doing?
my putt is nose up, which means I normally get a pretty big drop in a tailwind. Um, just didn't happen. So there goes our birdie streak. But hey, that was a pretty good one. Still riding that momentum. 287. I know that the wind is still kind of right to left out there because we're going back the way we came. So I'm throwing my flippy hex on a lot of hyzer, trying to flip it up and then hoping the wind pushes it to the left. And we get a lot of flip out of it, and it just rides straight. Here I am calling for it to go to the left.
That'll be a putt.
And it,
Yeah, that's
it
fine.
doesn't really.
Flippy
It's a
hex.
hex that's flippier. It just goes straight. I go a bit deep on this, probably through it about 300. And now we've got that 20-foot putt back into the tailwind. It's almost kind of the exact same line as that previous putt I had, but now I'm nervous. I did let it get in my head just a little bit, and I fluffed this putt.
Just felt that
Like
fly
out of
by
my
in my
hand, it
hands.
was almost like my fingers felt weak, and
That's
I felt
two
just no
20
snap,
footers
no
right there
nothing
that
come off the
should have been
fingers.
made.
So that's on me. There's two in that 20 to like 25-foot range that should have
Playing
gone
modes
in,
are
but
real.
instead we were tapping in for par. So in my mind, I should be down 10 at this point. Missed two putts. It happens. All right, hole 23, great finishing hole. OB Creek / river on the left side, Mando on this telephone pole, and it is eagleable. I've got my flippy wraith. I'm trying to hit this dead center of the gap on a lot of hyzer, let it flip up and push, maybe have a look for eagle. Release it just too far right, and that's okay. That's kind of the safe play. Wind was doing weird things. But for my arm speed, my power is a pretty good crush. It's not quite pin high just because of the angle. I ended up pretty far right. But now it's one of those I threw a good shot and now my upshot's weird. I can't go left around this tree and I can't go right around the right tree. So I'm electing to go in the middle. There is water right behind the basket. So it is
Jeez.
a pretty scary upshot.
I'm mad about those two
But
20
we're up
footers.
there. We're essentially parked for the bird, which we're going to walk up and we are going to tap this in. It's going to put us at down 9 overall. We had a good fight there at the end. That last section, that's really how I play disc golf. So overall, I can't be too mad.
All right. Overall, made some pretty big mistakes. And we're not going to make excuses about it. But yeah, we'll do better the rest of this year. Not a bad start to the year.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming along on this journey. Again, please like and subscribe to this content if you enjoy it. That does help me out a lot. Please leave a comment down below. Give me some tips on playing blind because your boy needs it. Until next time, have fun, get better, stay decent.